My story from obesity to empowerment. Hello, I'm Felicia Bowers, and I'm truly honored to be here with you today, sharing something that could change everything for you. Dr. McKinney's cure for the obesity mindset, which I've come to call Never Diet Again. This isn't just another program, it's a lifeline. This is not about food restrictions or temporary measures. It's about healing, freedom, and transformation. A journey that will empower you to break free from the beliefs, emotions, and experiences that have been holding you back for far too long. I know this pain. I've lived it. And I'm here to tell you, it's not just about the extra weight. It's about everything that comes with it. For years, I felt the suffocating grip of shame. I felt the bone-deep exhaustion that no amount of sleep could touch. I was weighed down, not just by the physical heaviness, but by an unseen, crushing burden on my spirit. The constant guilt, the gnawing frustration, and that chilling feeling of being trapped in a cycle I couldn't escape. Every diet, every desperate attempt felt like I was fighting against myself, against a body that no longer felt like my own. This isn't just a physical struggle. It's an emotional, mental, and spiritual battle that consumes your very essence. I carried more than just weight. I carried the physical limitations, the gasping for breath with minimal exertion, the relentless aches in my joints, the constant low-level embarrassment of never feeling truly comfortable in my own skin. I'd stand before the mirror, not daring to truly look, just catching a fleeting glance of a stranger staring back at me, wondering, who is that person and what happened to me? But worse than the physical toll was the profound internal burden. My thoughts felt thick, mired in a constant internal monologue of self-criticism. It was a cognitive fog, a thought disability that made focus elusive and joy seem distant. I lived in a constant state of shame, frustration, and hopelessness. Every time I tried to change, it felt like I was setting myself up for an even more devastating failure. And every mistake felt like an unforgivable betrayal of my body, my soul, and my deepest aspirations. Then one day, everything changed. I walked into Dr. McKinney's office, my primary care doctor, a place I'd been to many times before, but that day felt different. I was desperate, tired of fighting my body, tired of hearing that familiar, hollow message, you just need to diet. That had been the answer for so long, but nothing worked, nothing stuck, and the frustration, shame, and guilt only grew, festering into a silent agony. When Dr. McKinney came in, I saw something new in his eyes, a profound compassion mixed with unsettling honesty. He set my test results down on the table and said it directly without preamble. "Felicia, you're obese." It wasn't a shock. I knew that things had gotten out of control, but hearing those words from someone I respected, someone who held my health in his hands, hit me in a way I wasn't prepared for. It was a stark reminder that despite all my desperate efforts, I was still stuck in the cycle, still a stranger in my own skin, yearning for relief. But Dr. McKinney didn't waste time offering empty words or pretending a simple pill would fix everything. Instead, he pulled out a pad of paper, wrote the word diet, and circled the part that just read, die. "Felicia," he said, locking eyes with me, his gaze firm yet kind. "This is why you're where you are. Diets. They kill you. They don't work, and they're not meant to. All they do is harm you. They're soul-crushing because they never bring lasting change. They're a cycle of false hope and inevitable failure." It wasn't the prescription I had hoped for, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. All the advice I had followed, low fat, low calorie, no carb, high protein, had led me nowhere. I tried Weight Watchers, Atkins, South Beach, even that bizarre one-day nut cleanse where you're promised to drop a pound. I counted calories, cut fat, skipped meals, swapped meals, drank the shakes, and sipped the diet sodas like medicine. I weighed and measured every bite, like I couldn't be trusted to stop eating without a scale. And after all that, I still ended up with gout from a no-carb plan and a head full of shame from all the others. The harder I tried, the more defeated I felt. Dr. McKinney continued, "I will never put you on a diet, and I want you to promise me something. Promise me you will never diet again." At first, I was stunned. It was the last thing I expected him to say. After all, diets had been the cornerstone of my approach to weight loss. But in that moment, something clicked deep within me. For the first time, someone was actually giving me permission to stop the cycle, to let go of the constant battle with my body and the relentless shame that came with it. Dr. McKinney explained that my struggles weren't about food or willpower. They were about how I viewed myself, how I had internalized the lies about my body, and how those beliefs kept me trapped in a never-ending loop of dieting and failure. It wasn't easy to accept, but in that moment, I realized something fundamental. I had been chasing the wrong solution. The answer wasn't about another diet or quick fix. It was about changing the way I saw myself, my relationship with food, and the inherent power I had over my own life. Dr. McKinney wasn't offering me a miracle pill. Instead, he was offering me freedom. Freedom from the shame, the restrictions, and the broken mindset that had kept me stuck for so long. That day, my journey started anew. I promised Dr. McKinney I would never diet again, and that decision changed my life. It was the first step toward breaking free from the obesity mindset and the cycle that had defined so much of my existence. It wasn't just about losing weight. It was about healing on a deeper level than I ever thought possible, reclaiming the joyous, vibrant self I knew was buried underneath. I knew I needed real answers, not just for myself, but for anyone suffering like I did. So I dove deep. I began to study everything I could about nutrition, metabolism, fat burning, and the psychology behind the diet mindset. I tore apart every fad, every miracle diet, and exposed the reasons why they always left me frustrated, disappointed, and even heavier than before. What I uncovered was nothing short of astonishing. The truth was hidden beneath layers of shame, misinformation, and toxic diet culture programming. But there was a way through. I began to develop and live what I would one day call my freedom framework, a new blueprint that allowed me to get my body into fat-burning ketosis, heal my mind, and most importantly, never again give up the foods I love or the nourishment my soul needs. This framework became my pathway out. It's not about willpower, restriction, or suffering. It's about alignment, about fueling your body with purpose, resetting your rhythms, empowering your mindset, engaging in joyful movement, developing sustainable habits, optimizing your energy, and mastering the mind-body connection. That's what this book is. It's the guide I wish I'd had, a map out of the confusion and into the freedom you deserve.